Hi, welcome to Real Talk TV. This is your number one online TV show. I am your host, Sheila Mark. And today we have an amazing topic that you can't afford to miss. Welcome to the show. If you're coming back for the second time, thank you for making your time to be here. If you are here for the first time, kindly consider subscribing to our YouTube channel. Welcome to the show. Kindly introduce yourself, let us know who you are and what you do.
Thank you, Sheila. It's such a great pleasure to be here once again. My name is Pastor Betsy Fred.
Thank you so much for making time to be with us. We had you last time and it was amazing. The information you gave us was so deep, and so I believe someone today will be helped once again. And so let's talk about parenting styles.
Let me start by saying that just like marriage, parenting has no manual.
Wow.
Everyone enters into parenting, into marriage differently, different times, and somehow we get to learn it in the process. So there is no such a manual like how do I parent, how do I bring up my firstborn, how do I bring up my secondborn, but all in all, we find ourselves doing parenting. Yeah. And so one thing we want to learn about today is that there are different parenting styles. Research has made it known to us that there are quite a number of parenting styles that are common across.
Yes.
All in all, some of us find themselves in one or the other. And so today we're going to talk about 2 or 3.
Yeah.
And the next time, if you like it, you can invite me. We talk about more.
Wow.
Thank you.
This is so lovely. And today, before we go into parenting styles,
yes,
I want us to talk about where we start parenting. Does it start the time we have the child or right from the womb?
Sure. Parenting starts just the way you are saying, right from the womb, right from conception.
Yes.
That's interesting because most of the parents get a certain pattern, maybe a pattern of sleep when the child or when the infant is growing in the womb. And somehow, when this child is born,
yes,
they also get to the system. They follow suit. If the mother was sleeping too much, somehow this child find themselves sleeping too much.
Wow.
It has happened that some parents ask, I have sleepless nights. What could be happening? My child cries overnight, and immediately it's dawn, they start sleeping. This is the situation.
Yes.
This is a parent that started sleeping, used to sleep overnight.
Yes.
And when it is dawn, they are active. While on the other side, some are active at night, and then when it's dawn, they start sleeping.
Wow.
The child somehow gets to follow that pattern.
Wow.
So parenting starts
right from the womb.
From the womb.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay. Tell me, I'm also made to understand that when the child is in the womb and is exposed to an environment that is not friendly, it affects the children right from the beginning. Sure. Tell us about it. Okay, when the woman is expectant and it happens that maybe they have issues with the spouse or the husband and the wife.
Yes.
How does it affect the child?
We may not go that far, but it is very true that anything that affects the mother psychologically also gets to affect the child. So once this child is born, somehow the doctors and any other person traces back to how was it when you were expectant. Because most of the spouses, maybe there is a conflict during that time when this woman is expecting. And so this is what happens. The child also gets to be affected psychologically. So we are all connected in one way or another. And that is why we are saying parenting starts way back. If you're a happy parent, this child comes forth happy.
Okay.
If you are a depressed parent, somehow this child also comes forth when they are somehow having emotional instability. And so it happens.
Okay, so let's get into the main topic of today, parenting styles. Kindly introduce it to us. the type of parenting styles?
Just the way I've said, Sheila,
Yeah.
is that we have different parenting styles.
Okay.
And last time I said that no child is bad. What happens is they are affected by they are influenced by the environmental factors.
Yes.
And so when we are talking about parenting styles, we are talking about how our parents bring up their children, because parents bring up their children differently.
Yes.
Last time we said that some parents would prefer to bring up their children the way they were brought up. And without wasting time, we will be mentioning 1 or 2, 3 parenting styles. Let's go first of all to authoritative kind of parenting.
Okay.
These are parents that get involved very closely to what is going on in the lives of their children.
Okay.
They discuss the issues that their children are going through.
Yes.
They also involve their children on how they are growing up. And at every stage, they make sure that this child is growing up in a great way, in a good way. So this is a parent that makes this child know that I am growing up and I need to go this way and that way. This parent involved the child in such a way that they know that these are my parents. I can always approach them.
They are responsible.
Thank you. Responsibility is the key thing when it comes to this kind of parenting style. This is a parent that also will bring up children who are confident, children who have high self-esteem.
Yes.
They know what they need in life. They know where they are coming from. They know where they are headed. Because there is that authority that is put, and there are rules that are set up in that kind of a family. That this is where we are coming from. These are the rules in this home. And for us to reach our destination, this is how we should go.
Wow.
So there are boundaries that are set in such in that kind of a parent-child relationship.
So let me ask you.
Yes.
And now, due to what you are talking about, does it mean that any parent that is responsible, no matter their background or financial status or education level, will raise a child that is confident, or how does it go?
Let's talk of the majority. The majority of the children that are coming from this kind of parenting style will be confident children. They are outgoing. They reach out to their goals without being pushed. Unlike these other ones, where there are no boundaries that are set, they don't even know that there is time management. So somehow they become reluctant. And so it's not everybody that will follow suit according to the parents' teachings. But at least we are talking about 3/4, or at least
a certain percentage.
Yes, above 75% will be this kind of children who know what they want in life. Of course, there are others who will just go wayward. They will miss out on the point. But at least we are talking about the majority of these children who come from an authoritative parenting style. They know themselves. They know what they want. They know where they are headed. And their lives somehow fall into place. They find their sense of purpose early enough.
And I understand, because it is said, raise a child in the way they should go, and they will never divert from the way.
Exactly.
So what is the next style that we are talking about today?
We also want to talk about an authoritarian parent. The other one was authoritative. Now this is an authoritarian. They demand so much from their children. Things have to be done their way. It reminds me, Sheila, when we were growing up, and there were some parents who will say, I'm leaving you here. And I want to find you here. Right here. Do not cross this boundary. I don't want you to leave this compound. This is a kind of child, a child who is enclosed. Because they are coming from an authoritarian kind of a family. That things are done the parents' way. You don't think on your own. If the parents said that wash utensils, you wash utensils. Then they don't think of something else to do
beyond that.
Because they only follow the demands from their parents.
They are restricted.
They are restricted to certain levels. But and contrary to the first one that we talked about, that a parent would sit you down and ask you, what is your plan for the day? That is an open-minded child.
Okay.
Mom, this is where I'm going to start. Then after this is what I'm going to do. And after that, this is what I'm going to do. And like this other parent who says, do 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And once it is done, don't leave this compound.
Okay.
So this kind of a parent also brings out children who are not responsible. They don't think on their own. They don't send themselves.
They depend on instructions.
Exactly. They depend on instructions. So that's an authoritarian parent who restricts the things that should be done.
Wow.
They demand from
So
their
much.
children. It's like even their schooling. Their schooling is also affected.
Yes.
A parent will say, I want to see a B. They don't ask, oh, will you attain this B? So this child just goes to school knowing that my parent wants to see a B. This parent wants me to do this, but beyond that, why am I doing? That is why last time we said, let the child know why. Because they are living their lives. So they should know that if I attain this level, this grade, actually I want to say that these parenting styles, we should know that it is not about the grades that the children bring home. It is about the products that we give to the world. When we are raising these children, Sheila, we should be looking at 20 years' time, not just what we have today.
Right.
When you look at 20 years' time, you let this child to know, why am I working extra hard? Why should I be responsible? Why should I not do this? So these authoritarian parents, they give orders and stop there. They don't make the child like an open-minded mind that can think beyond. Yes.
So it's a way of paralyzing these children because when you do like that, you don't allow them to think on their own.
Very true.
They cannot, they are so much restricted that they fear you. They don't relate with their parents in a free way, but they just relate because of fear.
Very true.
So what would you tell parents who are parenting children in such a style? How are they supposed to treat these children?
Sure. I want to advise, especially the young parents, that it is good to bring up children who have a high self-esteem. They can think and they can perform. They don't have to be pushed. So learn to create time with your child. And tell them this is the reality about life. This is what I earn in this house. The reason why we don't eat this kind of food is because my pocket does not allow me to go this extra mile. So for us as a family, this is what we have and can afford this week. But next time when we have something more, we shall go an extra mile. So be a parent who involves your children in decision making. When you involve them in decision making, they also learn to think widely and say, okay, my parents have gone out. They may not have much, but this is what they are offering us. The reason why they are offering us this kind of thing is because that is their level, or
that is what they can afford.
Exactly. So please, let's create time, involve our children in everything we are doing as a family, so that even them, as they go on and become parents in 20 years' time or so, they can also know how to reason with their children. And even how to raise their children. And even how because to raise I believe any environment that you expose your children to, or any kind of upbringing that you expose your children to, they tend to become like their way of life. Very true. And in the coming days, they will be saying, I will do like mommy did, or I'll be doing this because my father taught me how to do this and this and this. Exactly. And so what is the next style of parenting? Just to add on your point, is that children live or learn what they live. So any kind of environment we expose our children to, somehow they adapt to that environment.
Okay.
And
Adaption.
maybe before, let's touch on one more. We want to talk about an involved parenting kind of a style. This is an absentee parent. They are never there.
Yes.
The children have no rules. The children have no boundaries. Where do I start? Where do I go? What do I do at this time of the day?
Yes.
Now, this kind of a child somehow loses balance in life
Oh no.
because there was no parent to guide them. Actually, the first teacher
Yes.
in every child's life is their parent. For them to perform optimally,
Wow.
we need to start from home.
The first teacher in the life of a child
Is the parent.
is the parent.
Sure.
Wow. Parents, I hope you are listening to this, because this is very important in bringing up your child in the way they should go.
Yeah.
Now, tell us, this parent who is not involved in the life of the child,
Yes.
what really happens? Because we have seen such in even where we came from.
Yes.
There are so many parents who are not involved. They never go for visiting days in the school. They never, take children even to know their needs. They live such a careless life. Like they just have the child, send them to school. How would you advise such parents?
I
Or
pray.
how does it affect the child growing up if we bring them up in such a style?
Sure. The effects are pathetic. I would say that this uninvolved parent
Yes.
who never sets boundaries, who never set rules for this kind of a child,
Yes.
an absentee parent, just the way you are saying. When we were schooling,
Yes.
I remember some students that would say, I was given 500 shillings
Yes.
to go and see what to do
With it.
with it. It's not shopping, it's not pocket money. They don't even know what to do.
Nobody wants to know the kind of things that you need in that shopping list.
They don't go back to the shopping list. They don't get to know what does this child needs for the entire term. This kind of a parent will bring a child who is of low self-esteem. Number one, when everybody else is showing off in school what they has been bought for by their parents.
Yes.
And even some overspending what has been put in their pockets as pocket money.
Yeah.
This child will be pitying themselves, and so they will bring up a child that one will never be responsible.
Wow.
They would think that is how to bring up children. They will let go of their children. They would never have time for their children. And so it affects them even when they grow up into adults.
Okay.
Because there was no modeling when they were growing up. There was no examples that were set.
Wow.
Actually, these are kind of a child who never feels good about themselves. And sorry to say,
It
Sheila,
lowers their
because
self-esteem.
it lowers their self-esteem. They try to find themselves in life later, and they don't find themselves anywhere.
Wow.
This is a percentage that commit suicide because they don't see why life
Has been so
punished them
unfair.
and has been so harsh on them. So kindly parents, please listen to this. I said parenting cannot be delegated. Be a parent. Bring up a child that will be responsible. Children have needs. They need love. They need security. They need to feel praised. They need to feel that they are appreciated part of the family. Create time.
Wow.
Give your child time. Give them the necessity, every necessity that they need.
Yeah.
And in due time, you will see a final product
Yes.
whom you are giving to the world, a person who can reason,
Awesome.
a person who can send themselves to the world and do something creative.
Wow.
Kindly parents, let's create time and be with our children.
Wow. Thank you so much for your time, and thank you so much because that has been so much informative. Thank you so much. And for the parents, you have heard what you are supposed to do to your children, how to raise your children. I don't know the kind of parenting style that you have, but today you've heard. Only on Real Talk TV, you have such candid conversations Thank you once again for watching. Kindly consider subscribing to our YouTube channel. See you another time on the same channel and on the same show. I am your host, Sheila Mack.